Hi everybody.
Everyone. Yeah. So we are so glad to see you again.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I was in the U.S. For a little more than 3 weeks on vacation. Yeah.
So could you tell us about your holiday in America?
Sure. The main reason that I went is for a family reunion. And so it had been several years since we were all together. I have a lot of brothers and sisters, and we're spread out. They are spread out in America, and I'm here in Korea. And so it had been 4 or 5 years since we had all been together. So we rented a place in the Midwest, a lake house. There were 21 of us.
Wow, 21.
Yeah. 9 children. Yeah, so the kids are, the oldest cousin is 16, and the youngest cousin is 2, maybe a little more than 2. So it was fun. Very busy, very noisy, but fun. Yeah, and so before the family reunion, I went to Minnesota. I lived in Minnesota for 10 years before I came to Korea. It's a nice place. Don't visit in the winter.
Because it's too cold.
Super cold and a lot of snow.
Right.
Yeah.
I like snow though.
I do too. Yeah, I miss snow.
Does it have any kind of slope for skiing?
I think most of the ski slopes are man-made.
All right.
But there's a lot of skiing. They'll do cross-country skiing. So, flat land skiing.
Very different to Korean style.
But Minnesotans, people from Minnesota are very active in the winter.
Can you please explain more about Minnesota?
Sure. Minnesota is in the Midwest. It's at the top, in the middle. I lived in the Twin Cities. It's called the Twin Cities because there's a city called Minneapolis and a city called St. Paul, and they are right across the river from each other. And Minneapolis is the business center, and St. Paul is the government, the state government. And if you drive straight north for 8 hours, you're in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
And so Minnesota is very cold in the winter, very, very cold. But Minnesotans are very proud of their ability to endure terrible weather.
Oh, really?
Terrible weather. And in the summer, it's hot and humid. Not as humid as Korea.
Yeah. Nowhere like
but
this.
Humid, yeah. Oh.
This summer, especially.
Yeah. This summer, humidity is pretty miserable. Yeah, I was happy to be gone. Sorry.
Good for you.
For the weather, just the weather.
Right. Would you please tell us more about library things in America?
Sure. There are libraries in America have a lot of programs, a lot of events for kids. There's almost always a morning story hour for little kids and their moms. There'll be after-school story hour where a librarian reads to younger kids, first graders, kindergartners. There was a book sale at the library while I was there, which I went shopping.
Wow.
And there are the librarians were very knowledgeable. They knew a lot. They asked me a lot of questions about what our goals were and how we were reading, because it can make a difference. One of the things I haven't, before this, I hadn't paid attention to kids' books very much. I know the basics, right? The Dr. Seuss and Eric Carle and the
Same
books.
Here.
The books that everybody knows that are famous. But the librarians were recommending things, sometimes based on rhyming. Are you looking for phonics help? Rhyming is useful for that. When I'm choosing books, I notice that some of it is a little bit personal, right? I sort of read it and think, yeah, I like that. And then I have to figure out why I like it.
So mostly.
Yeah,
the books
sometimes
you
it's
like
just
are?
kind of feeling. But like the book we looked at earlier, I'll catch you if you fall. I'm looking for art that is not too busy,
More loud.
yeah, not too loud. But I also want a story that, you know, it's just fun, or it's that kids are going to connect with. But then as a teacher, I'm looking at things like pronunciation, expressions, vocabulary, and opportunities to sort of interact with kids while I'm reading. Yeah, it's kind of personal way to select.
Yeah. And I heard there are some kids room, playroom in the library somewhere.
Sure, not a playroom exactly, but there's a kids section, and it often it'll have soft toys and bean bags that kids can sit on, and a reading rug where kids can gather around the librarian and for story time. Yeah, and they have, one of the things I noticed is instead of just shelves, they have bins. So like wooden boxes that are open at the top. And so kids, and they're at the right height for small kids. So kids can look through like a file box and pick a book that appeals, that is interesting to them. So they're really set up for kids rather than for parents.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, I think
hope we
if
have more
I need
libraries like
yeah,
this.
exactly. If I need a third career, I might consider a children's librarian. Yeah,
Wow, that's great.
lots more education.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are very happy to see you.
Glad to be back. Yeah,
And would you read more books for us?
absolutely, absolutely. I'm
Thank
really enjoying
you.
it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Please join us.